Howdy and welcome. I'm Jeff.
And I'm Naranzul.
So I guess normally on this channel we would call this an episode of iterative refinement. It's not really though. We're going to be doing something a little bit different. For those of you who watched our last video, which was really focused around interviews with experts around the history of football betting and AI across a number of different perspectives, both from our team and some from friends. This is really kind of a sequel to that. Today is rest day. Did you get some rest day, Nas? Do you feel rested from football?
Oh, a little bit, but I have some caffeine if
All
I'm
right,
not
all right,
feeling
all right.
rested.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So where are we at? Let's look back where we got to and talk about some of the stuff we saw. Let's see. Group round's really big these days. A lot of stuff happened. It also seems like forever ago because there were so many games and so many games have happened since. I think the main surprise anyone saw was like, oh, Germany is actually maybe beatable, which is an interesting thing because Dower kicked off his part of the segment with like, seems like Germany wins a whole bunch like throughout history, but they started to look weak even in the group round.
That's true.
Um,
Oh,
but then comes around to 32 and they look real weak. Um, uh, I think you saw that game, didn't you? It's
yeah. I know that the market favored Germany to win about like 70% to advance, but don't know what happened there.
Yeah, yeah. So I think it's always interesting to see like the world of do upsets occur? Yeah, that upsets occur all the time in like big tournament like this. They're gonna happen all over the place. And so, we kind of started this project in this video series with the presumption like, oh yeah, it's actually a pretty safe bet to just bet on Germany a bunch throughout history. But that doesn't mean they're gonna win every year, which creates some interesting data science problems. So let's run down a few more of the surprises there. Sticking with Dow, of course. Unfortunately, even though Germany was looking weak, so was the Netherlands. Surprisingly, knocked out by Morocco, a strong team losing out to what was supposed to be a weaker team. Um, that was definitely like maybe the one of the other two big surprises not in the round of 32. Really early exit for them, team that's historically pretty strong. Um, and then somehow Australia got knocked out by Egypt in what seems like it was a pretty close game.
Wait, I don't think you should mention that because I was looking at the market and Australia was the underdog. They weren't
Oh
favored
yeah,
to win. Yeah, it
yeah,
was
yeah.
Egypt by 60%.
Really? Okay. All right. So I've
Yeah.
I've seen some mixed data on this one. That maybe had a view that is more of a narrative surprise than others. But yeah, maybe the betting market got it right, and then maybe some of the rest of the media told a different story. Sometimes that happens with big countries; they don't have
Mm.
as strong a teams, which maybe brings us to the reason I'm dressed in all black today with a somewhat hyperbolic background here of a British victory and an American defeat, which is the story. So while my current resident country of England is still kicking along, USA just went down to tiny but still like actually possibly favored Belgium. Belgium with a which is somewhat counterintuitive depending on how you model a football game. Did you check that one? Do you know if the betting markets preferred the states on that one, or is that just every bit of
Uh,
U.S. media was saying USA, and actually no one
well,
thought they were going to
every
win?
I feel like because USA was like everybody was rooting for USA, but supposedly the market was favoring Belgium by 60%, 60 to 63. Yeah.
Yeah, that's that's always a weird property of these sports where there's this very specific history of each country and its history of things. You think of like giant countries like China and India that are not guaranteed winners of things where they've got enough people to be great at the sport,
Mhm.
but every country has its own unique tradition with every sporting tradition. A few other big surprises in there. So then another one that I think was I think counts as an upset is Canada getting knocked out by tiny Morocco. Canada being so with that, I believe that makes with Mexico, Canada, and the states all dropping by round of 16. We fully removed all true home team advantage. That's something that like sometimes the betting literature will talk about, and like some of these models will try to pull in. But we're already done. There are no teams truly on home ground anymore. All three host nations are out. So home advantage didn't stack up to be much already.
Nope, did not.
Um, and then there's one other big upset that I think was really interesting, which a lot of people got very excited about.
Was it Brazil?
Which of course,
Norway?
yeah, yeah,
Yep.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Brazil is one of those countries that has a real track record. It's done really well in soccer across international play for generations. And Norway not so much. It doesn't have the same illustrious history, but
It's true. I think it's their first time being in the World Cup for about 20 years.
yeah, it's wild. And so
You could fact
that's what
check
the
me.
all right, we can fact check you. We're not going to run the AI live on this stuff. So, like, the our original purpose in kicking off this series was to talk about, some of the data science and some of the AI work that centers around like football betting as a task to work with data. And so, one of the things that gives us something to work on is some of the stuff we just ran down. Is um, the favorites don't always win. It just happens that way. And so, if you only use your best odds, you're just not going to be right all the time. Even if some model were because you ran a ton of different models, it's probably just random noise. That like you can't really guess the World Cup completely correctly. Um, and so like what good is making the right size bets and being prepared for to get some things wrong. And as we discussed in that last video, a lot of the AI models, the LLMs these days, trying to write code, they can sometimes have a vague sense of how to do that, but there's this huge gap in their ability to actually not lose their shirt and authoring some of these things. Um, and that's just for the regular upsets. I think one of the fun things there is all the stuff that was different. I think Dow was our guide to this one. Although I think both Ross and Robert touched on it as well. This idea that like, yeah, no World Cup's ever the same. They don't even use the same rules every time. Um, they don't play it the same way every single time. Like the best third isn't the same across things, and so it gives you a lot of interesting data to chew up. But also means as a predictive task, you have really poor calibration. And so I think there's the wild and unpredictable stuff that happened this time. So home team advantage goes away. There's also some like really weird externalities, and so there's the super controversial red card, again from the states, playing a big role in the narrative, but not as a competitive team. And so, for I presume anyone who's watched the tournament caught this one. I didn't actually see what triggered the red card, but one of the American players managed to get a red card in a game. Should not have been able to play in the game against Belgium. And then one call from Trump to FIFA, and suddenly, red
It's
card's
bad.
overturned.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, so FIFA's got a weird history. I don't know if we're gonna find that. Like, if we can like go back and do a bunch of research, are we gonna find, heads of state, prime ministers, presidents, like calling up
I think,
FIFA to flip red cards?
yeah, I think this is the first time. I mean, I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe the first time we know about it. I don't know. It's gonna be hard to do
True.
in the science, and so it gives I thought that was a fun,
Yeah.
interesting new concept. If It's
It is
also
an
interesting that
outside
like,
data. Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say it's like an outside data, but it can like influence outcomes.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, we didn't have this conversation ahead of time, but I don't know. Like before the game, I would have expected that would have moved their odds. Like I would expect the American team with a good player, not getting kicked out, was in better shape to win. But they didn't. Um, they The slightly favored Belgium still held up. And actually, I think that game wasn't even close, if I recall correctly. It was like a 4-1 or something like that.
Yeah, it was 4-1. Kind of a little sad to watch.
Indeed, we're wearing black and our flags in the dirt on this call. Okay, now,
Should wear black.
well, on the other end of the spectrum of like weird stuff that's different every time is my personal favorite here, which is the hydration break. This is perhaps one of America's greatest contributions to modern football at this point,
Yeah, it's
which is
too hot here.
it's just too
Too
hot.
hot.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they're doing it even in like air conditioned indoor games though. We just got to stop in the middle and into a hydration break. So keeping with tradition, let's just stop and have a hydration break here. Let's just
Okay.
pause the chat. All right, all right.
Okay. Well, cheers.
Got to keep loose, keep hydrated, keep healthy, stay safe on
Yep.
these.
Okay.
I
I'm
think we
hydrated.
also should be running ads at this point in time, and so I'm just going to pretend that this hydration break is sponsored by First Hand Ventures. First Hand Ventures. If you're a repeat founder looking to start your next AI startup focusing on the agentic economy, you should get in contact with Simon Chan, famous for the AI Agent Conference, investing across pre-seed to seed, based in New York. First Hand Ventures and hydration.
Cheers.
Okay. Are you sufficiently hydrated? Is it safe to continue?
Wait, one more.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I'm ready.
All right. So let's see. I think the hydration break's fun in its own way. I'm sure that that football purists hate it, but as a research minded person, a person who likes to run experiments, just having different conditions. I don't know. I think it's interesting. Gives you new things to discover. Um, I don't know about some of the stuff that sits on the outside. The trash talking, like the fans showing up and making noise outside of people's hotels and things like that. I saw some footage of the English team getting hassled outside their hotel the night before a big game, things like that. Also, like, I don't know what the home team advantage means when, like, it kind of just seems like the internet picks their favorite thing. My
Mhm.
my personal favorite is the Norwegian row. Have you practiced your Norwegian rowing?
I have not, but I should
Uh,
soon for the game on Saturday.
all right, I like there's some sort of pulling action. I don't know. Can you row a boat? Have you ever rowed a boat?
True. No, but there's like tutorials on TikTok. You just go
All
back
right.
and forth. Rue.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that
Yeah.
was the case. My wife will then tell a story of a very unsuccessful date on a lake in which we were both surprised the other person didn't know how to row a boat, and neither of us knew how to row a boat, and it was very, very slow to get back. So apparently, you have to practice. So I recommend check those videos, learn how to row. It's something like this, I think. I don't know. Okay, all right. So let's run them down. Let's look ahead. So part of the thing we're looking ahead for is some of this work we're doing back at Seaproof, which is we have models running on this stuff. They're writing code. They're learning things about like how to work with numbers and math accurately. Um, but then they're going to go into the wood chipper, the incredibly difficult task of just like betting against the pros. Offline, no real money here, but trying to do it. So what do we got left? Let's go down our list. I'm going to suggest that each of us pick a winner in all the following games. You're allowed to have cheated and done your market research and go with what the bookies say, or you can just go with your
No,
gut. Pick your
I'm gonna go
favorite
with my
player.
gut. Yep, my
Okay.
gut.
Okay. All right.
But
Let's hear it. So let's see. Let's
my gut's been wrong so
good.
many times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like yesterday,
Well, I think the
Egypt.
good news is, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Egypt, and then yesterday Colombia. I've just been taking L's.
yeah. I think some Cinderella stories are coming to a close, as sometimes happens. So let's run down the list. I'm going to do them one by one. We'll each
Okay,
put in a prediction here. So let's go first off the list. We'll do Spain versus Belgium. Who are you predicting?
Spain.
You going
Spain.
Spain?
Yep.
For pure vindictive reasons, I'm going Spain as well. I don't care.
Okay.
Just anti-Belgium now. Okay. Okay, we're gonna do France versus Morocco. I think the odds in this one are real skewed.
That's tough. I'm gonna say Morocco. It's my heart is.
Yeah, that feels like a gut call. I think the bookies are against you, but I'm also going
Yeah.
Morocco based on standard English
Oh,
policy of always against the French. The French should always lose.
okay. Hope they lose.
All right, all right. Next up is a toss up here. I think there's fans on both sides of this one. This is actually our only example of a special guest with their team still in the tournament. Ross Taylor of
Oh,
General Reasoning's English team is still in the tournament, but they're going up against the rowers at Norway. Who you picking? Norway versus England?
100% Norway. Yeah,
Mm,
Team Holland.
immediately
Yep.
fired. Just you're just immediately fired. No, that is England all the way. All right. Final choice here. Argentina versus Switzerland. Um,
Everybody knows Argentina's gonna win.
yeah, this is one of those ones that came up, I think, in some of the videos we discussed before. Is like, this sort of like dominant class prediction is like, you look over the history, is Argentina's a pretty good team. When in doubt,
Yeah.
bet Argentina. I think that's probably going to be the case. I am also going to go Argentina. I'm also going to highlight that it's actually the last game from this World Cup to be happening in my hometown of Kansas City, which is
You're
going to be
from
exciting for the folks.
Kansas?
Yeah, Kansas and Missouri. That's Kansas City. I can't figure out which side of the state line it wants to be on, so it's on both.
Oh wow. I think you're from New York.
Well, I was in New York for about a decade, which brings us back to the final. The
Mm,
World Cup will end roughly in the greatest city in the world somehow. I think it's actually literally Jersey, but they're going to call it New York.
yeah.
Is that where the final lands?
New York, New Jersey. But we'll
All
take New
right.
York.
So we don't need to file any predictions for that. We'll figure that out as the rounds go down. But exciting
Mhm.
that it'll be heading back to headquarters town.
Nearby. Yeah.
I'm sure
Can't wait.
whoever wins, you'll probably see some crazy in town.
Yep. Crazy
Depends on how popular
celebrations.
they are. Yeah.
I think it's gonna
Hopefully
be
it's someone that
Norway.
people. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
You're Norway all the way at this point.
All the
Those
way.
are
All the way.
long odds, long odds. I think
I'll take
high
those
odds at this point
odds. Yep.
are probably
Is that like 18?
Argentina, France,
Oh,
maybe
it's like
England.
18%. I'll take
All
I'll
right,
I'll
all right,
take Norway. Yep.
all right, all right. Okay, well, um, to wrap it up, we can't predict the future. We're not really trying to. But one of the interesting things with this task is to think about just how hard the real world is, all the different sorts of data you need to take into account, and all the ways in which we've already figured out how to use responsible math to constrain things like sports betting, but also a bunch of financial transactions and all the real world stuff that we try to encode into programs these days. It's an interesting problem as we're trying to teach AI how to write all the code. It really writes this code real bad, and it's stuff we kind of know how to do. Not everyone makes money at sports. Sometimes they just bet their gut and they're disappointed. But
Yeah,
it's
I
certainly
mean,
possible to not lose your shirt all in a hurry. You're going to stick with that in your gut.
it's been 50-50. Win some, lose some. But
All right,
definitely
all
do your
right. Well,
research, guys.
yeah. I agree with that. Well, I think it's pretty safe to bet your gut in this entirely imaginary monopoly money scenario. No downsides here. Just the disappointment of the wrong guess. So thanks for joining us today, Nas, and thank you all for watching. Be well. See you at the end of the tournament.